already? All right, I'm about to say we got disconnected, and also I got our guest on this cast for the Survivor Series review will be Ty.
What's up? It's been a while.
Yep.
It's been a very long while.
So we got a lot of
You
wrestling
know.
to cover. So first we're gonna kick off with the wrestling retrospect, and we had Will Ospreay. I told you to get a couple matches yourself so you could join the conversation about it. You picked him, Mike. So you go first.
Okay. The first match that I had on my list is I've tried to go as far back as possible. I think this is as old as it is. Let's see. It says Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll, Rev Pro High Stakes 2016.
Nice. I think I've seen that match. It was good.
Unfortunately, for such a recent match, it has potato quality on YouTube, which is very sad. Um, but I actually recommend this one very highly. If you like the style, that is like the most current iteration of what wrestling has turned into. Because I realized by watching this match, this was the slow evolution of the wrestling fandom kind of into what it is today.
Okay.
And I realized that a lot of American, the American wrestling scene during this time, I guess the 2010s and whatnot, well, mid 2010s,
Yeah.
was influenced a lot by the UK wrestling crowds.
Yep.
The chanting, the different songs they sang, the level of energy during the match,
Yeah.
uh, especially for a venue that is looks as small as this one is, it sounds like they're in a big ass arena. Uh, as for the match itself, I want to say by this point, at least Scroll has done things in New Japan because they mention it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what Osprey was doing in New Japan. I don't remember. Um, as far as what happens during the match, it is kind of almost the exact thing that we usually say about people that fit their description. It is a lot of high flying and a lot of technician types maneuvers.
Nice.
So this is literally one of the like marquee matches of that type. So
Nice.
you got Marty Scurll, master technician. He got Will Ospreay on his way up as a master high flyer, and he has that technician. So this one is like, as the youngin said, it is lit because not only do you have these two guys, but dude, the crowd is on fire
Nice.
the entire match. So like, if you want that vibe to go with the action, like I recommend watching this match. And it's a significant match because this was for the first independent guy ever to get their own action figure made. Because I
Nice.
guess it just wasn't a thing. You weren't signed, you weren't getting a figure.
Yeah.
So this match was for whoever won got their first figure for being an independent wrestler. So that's cool.
Okay.
And Scroll takes it
Nice.
after a long ass match.
Good. Good.
Long, long, long. Lots
I
of false finishes and
I think
stuff.
it was one of those like I forgot the company's name, but they sold them on Ringside Collectibles. They're very hideous figures too. Oh, I forgot what the name
Uh,
was.
as far as I know of, the promotion is Rev Pro
Red Pro, yeah. So
Revolution.
yeah, the action figure I think that happened was they sell it on Ringside Collectibles, I think, right, and they're kind of weird looking figures. I gotta get the name of it. I forgot because I remember Marty Scroll getting one, and it came out like 2 years later when they announced that. Anyway, um, Ty, do you have a match?
Yeah, I looked it up. Quickly looked it up. I didn't watch it yet, but I will get to it. but I think uh, 2015 versus Styles is definitely something to watch. I believe it was in Rev Pro. Let me check. I did see it just a few minutes ago. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was in Rev Pro. But yeah,
Okay,
him and Styles had a match.
cool. I think I remember seeing that
Yeah,
too.
Rev Pro High Six
Cool,
2015.
cool.
It was 24 minutes long. Styles won, and like I said, I'm definitely gonna look into that because that seems like an interesting match.
Was he the
Um,
the ROH champ or New Japan champ at the time?
Let me check.
Because is
This
that
was 2015, um, February 2015. So, uh, no,
no? Okay,
no, he was not.
all
He
right. So
was only a tag champion.
okay, cool. My first match of this group, basically the first match, well, the match that led into this was the match of Ricochet and Will Ospreay, which is probably one of the famous matches that everyone talked about because it had crazy high spots and a lot of back and forth, a lot of acrobatics done. Vader bitched about it, and they actually led up into a match that was in Rev Pro UK, that was Will Ospreay versus Vader. This was August 14th, 2016. This match was pretty much what it was. It was Vader just dominating and Ospreay kind of like doing the Shawn Michaels oversell, and like if he got hit, he would like do two backflips and fucking take it and stuff like that. But it actually led into story because I think Pete Dunne was still wrestling there, and he came out and helped Vader, and then Ricochet and Osprey pretty much cleared the house, and pretty much it landed up in a DQ, so no one won. But Vader got like the Vader bomb, he was about to win, and then Pete Dunne interfered. A very young Pete Dunne.
Okay,
Mike,
okay.
second match.
Okay, the date for this one I don't see. I'm looking for. I want to say is before the last match, so this may be 2015.
Yeah,
Uh, this is IPW UK. This is Will Ospreay versus Chris Sabin. The first time ever, it says on here.
yeah.
Scott Steiner not having this match.
Nah, he's not. He's not in it. That's why. I'm mad
Yeah, he upset today.
about it.
Give me a second.
Mhm. Uh, yeah. Yeah, Scott Steiner. You don't like it. He pretty much boycotts matches on our cast and our face too.
Yeah, so he's younger and smaller, and he's pretty much what is it? I think they say 175 here. So
Yeah.
you could tell he's way younger. This is Chris Sabin. I think they say at this point he was one of the first. What is it? What do you call it? Triple Crown champions
Yeah. Triple Crown.
in TNA. Yeah, I believe this is after one of the times he went to New Japan.
Yeah.
He came back wearing capri pants. So I don't know if you know what timeline this is. He didn't always wear capri pants. That's what also I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, this one has a more gritty, more independent feel. Slightly better uh, film quality. This is on Daily Wrestling's YouTube page if you want to check it out.
Nice.
Um, and this one's actually kind of it's interesting to see that Osprey is so like I don't want to say just new, but as a name, he's very new, right?
Okay.
But he's really just going move for move with Saban, which is cool.
Nice.
Um, and I guess the Bullet Club is already a thing. There's a few spots they do where they catch each other's moves, and then the main one they do the two sweet, and then put each other's like leg down when they catch the leg or something like that. So again, I'm noticing a thing that Will Ospreay's rise was specifically during that era where like the Bullet Club was at its peak.
Yeah.
He was coming basically. So
Yeah.
that's a if you want to get a feel for the time period, that's when it's going
Yeah.
on. I will say, young Will Ospreay, because he's got a lot of charisma and like the one thing that you have to give him credit for is that regardless of where he is when he's in his turf in his territory, like the fans love him.
Nice.
Period. So they got chance and again, once again, the chants, the songs, it's a lot of that stuff. So if you don't like Will Ospreay, maybe you might want to blame him for a lot of that coming to Monterey. I have no dislike for it, but I just noticed that it's very prevalent in every match that I watch.
Yeah.
The crowd will break out and sing his.
Nice.
Um, as far as who won this match, uh, Osprey actually won, which got me like, wow, because they were talking of saving a real big game, but again, he was on his way up. So
Cool. Cool. Do you have another one, Ty?
Yeah, the other match I saw, um, Osprey did win. It was him versus Big Damo.
Nice.
I definitely want to see that match too. Um, I want to see the dynamic of how Osprey takes on Damo,
Yeah.
and I also want to see how Damo wrestles a guy like Osprey because Osprey is definitely a lot faster than him and a lot more agile. But Damo could definitely go in the ring, so it's definitely like it's like a Vader match, but I feel like it's more expanded on because Damo is probably like 20, 30 years younger than Vader,
Yeah.
so it makes it easier for both guys to work in the match. So
Okay.
that would be my two matches.
Nice. My second match. This is a tag match. This is Will Ospreay and Nixon Newell, aka this is Tegan Knox. They fought Gavin and Stacy in SWE. South is South no S yes SWE right? Is it? SWE yes Southside Wrestling. Um yeah, so this was August 24th, 2016. I picked this match because during the whole match they played the Dirty Dancing theme and they danced the whole time and used the moves. It kind of reminded me like Ninja Turtles when they used to grab each other and swing each other around and shit. And it was actually quite entertaining, quite funny, and they actually did the whole holding sequence too when they won the match. So it was very fun, and the fact that they used the song the whole entire time was great. This was again, check it out. I'll put all these matches on the Facebook page, so definitely stay tuned for that. Mike, your last one.
wait, did you say who won the match? Or
Nixie Noel and Will Ospreay, and they also did the final, the whole thing at the end of the match.
okay,
When he
gotcha.
lifts her and shit. Yeah, they did that whole scene.
Hmm. Okay, the last one I picked. Uh, I forgot that this was a big deal when it happened.
Yeah.
Did not see it when it happened, but this was during Cody's excursion around the world. Uh, so I believe here he is their champion.
Okay.
Um, he might be somebody else's champion, but I believe he's this place's champion. This is once again the IPW match on Daily Wrestling's YouTube. This is again they don't have the date when it went up. I mean the date when the match happened.
Yeah.
Only when they put it up. Dare I say this is 2016, 2017. Um, this is Cody Rhodes versus Will Ospreay. Again, they have the little disclaimer, first time ever. So I guess it is a significant match in his history as well, right?
Yep.
Um, I gotta say this is definitely a growing point. And Ospreay, his gear is terrible. He's got a pair of short shorts, but it looks like Little Hero. the little belt. It looks kind of like Colossus underwear, but
Okay.
it's black. If you saw it, you it's red and orange.
Okay.
Uh, but man, it just looks like yeah, he ain't had no money yet. That's what it looks like. To pay
That
to
sounds
pay
crazy.
his to pay his fancy gear people. Like it looks like he ain't have the money yet.
Yeah.
Um, Cody's like $1 million. But dare I say, black haired, like slightly smaller Cody.
Yeah.
Man, he looked like a badass because that was with the leather bomber jacket and
Yeah.
those specific tights he used to wear.
Yeah.
So he had that very specific look. So yeah, he just looks like $1 million. Um, also fans love him. Another thing I just pointed out, but as I said with Osprey, that's like his number one thing. He's a man of the people,
Yeah.
and then you get to see him in a match with another man of the people.
Nice.
And so once again, the roof the venue's not huge, but the roof is gonna come off this place. Like that again, that type of influence, small crowds, but extremely high energy when he wrestles. Like that seems to be a trademark of Osprey. Like he gets his crowd like up,
Yeah.
up. Um, and this one is kind of like them trying to one up each other. Like it literally happens multiple times during the match,
Nice.
and then so much so that it ends up going to a really cool reversal of the Oz cutter
Nice.
into the Cody cutter, and that's how they finished the match. And that was actually pretty cool.
Cool. All right.
Not that long and not that many false finishes too. I think this was probably for me my favorite of all three of the matches,
Nice.
and Cody wins. So
Nice. Ty, you have any other?
I was also looking through the archives and I saw that Tozawa faced him, and
Nice.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Taz- this was like this was early Osprey. I would say like 13 or 14.
Okay.
So he was still fresh. But Tozawa, we know Tozawa's been wrestling for a very long time,
hmm
and
Yeah, he looks completely
that
different now
I'm
than he
very
did then.
interested. Yeah, I'm very interested to see that. So that would be my third match.
Nice. My last one it is Matt Riddle versus Will Ospreay. This was in Scrapper Mania 4. This was not for a title, but I think this was like Riddle's last round before he went to NXT. Um, so Will Ospreay for him, and this match went. It was a more technician match than I thought it would be. I thought it would just be high flying, a lot of two counts and high spots, but this one actually went really mat heavy, and even Will Ospreay started showing that mat technician, going for the crooked crossface, going for the leg, going for the arm. Um, the winner was Will Ospreay with that I forgot his was his finisher's name. He lifts you up, and kind of RKO's you in a way. He's like twists you. The storms.
The Oz cover.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you
that.
just said.
Yeah, he finished it with that. Him and Matt Riddle actually went really good though. It was like a really stiff fight, so really good stuff. And yep. So that's our wrestling retrospect. We'll have a new wrestler at the end of the show. Now we go to the weekend wrestling, and we kick off Monday Night Raw. Um, this is the go home shows for Survivor Series, and we kick off Monday Night Raw. Where's it? Oh damn it! I thought I had it. There we go. We kick off with Drew McIntyre in the crowd, explaining what he did and why he did it, and then yeah, Jay used to come out. He's never apologizing and everything like that. It just pretty much went back and forth with the whole the two teams coming across, and then Adam Pierce looks like
hold
he's
on,
go ahead.
Jay you said they ain't say nothing.
Huh?
No,
Oh,
because
he
that
didn't
was
say.
a point they kept making the entire week.
Yeah, yeah,
That Jay didn't get to apologize because he never got the chance.
yeah,
Because Drew was too mad. When they came out, it was everybody at the same time.
yeah.
So it,
Jay.
it never really went down.
Yeah, I don't think he was gonna apologize either. Wrong place, wrong time. But yeah, we got a good open segment, and Adam Pierce looks like he wants to fight everybody because everyone's stressing him
Yes, sir.
That's the best Adam Pierce.
out.
People don't know.
I put this idea to Louis Beans that I want to see R Truth as his assistant, just so he
Oh
could
my
just
God.
fuck shit up. You would have like women's title matches of Seth Rollins versus Rhea Ripley and shit because R Truth like, oh my bad, I thought it was for the women's title and shit. I could see shit like that happen. It would be hilarious. Anyway, the first match of the night we have Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes, sir. So I this is posed as a big big woman slapping meat type match.
Yep, big me women slapping meat. Yep.
That just made me. It was a good match. I'm not even gonna lie.
Nah, it
It
was
was good.
fun.
Hmm.
It was fun.
Uh, but I just noticed that the story they're telling us is like Raquel has to. This is her new nemesis because she can't get past Nia Jax yet.
Yeah, she has to get through
Because
her.
obviously she's got a rivalry with Rhea, right? But every time she gets to Nia Jax, who keeps talking mad trash to her, this is like the second time
Yeah,
that they've had a situation where she was supposed to beat her and she didn't like put her away, put her away. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So
Nia Jax
this
wins.
is her. This is her demon. Yep.
Nia Jax wins, and she giving her back problems because she can't lift her.
Yeah. Exactly.
She tried,
Exactly.
tried, and the back was like,
Finisher for Nia because she's not gonna be able to lift her unless if she's on the top room.
just poke her in the eye.
She'll be alright though.
Everything's easier when you poke
She'll be
someone in
alright.
the eye.
Yeah, for some odd reason they become 50 pounds lighter. So,
Yep,
but
they get the whole Mortal
she'll
Kombat.
be alright.
Maybe Raquel gets a submission hold.
Yeah, I think that's actually needed in her arsenal.
Yep,
I think
Um,
she should get a clothesline
like a
because
nice.
nah, it's gonna look weak.
You know,
no, because I mean she has that move in her moveset
the one
where
she
she does
called
the
Trisha with.
fake into the lariat.
Yeah,
Yeah, because she has that as a move, but she doesn't have it as she doesn't have a finisher type deal.
yeah.
But if she had a lariat as a finisher, she's she's more than powerful enough to flip somebody. You know what I mean? If they know how to do that,
Maybe,
so you can make it look very convincing.
maybe like maybe something like the roster cut that Brian Myers does.
Tell her to call JB out and teach
Yeah,
Yeah,
her
there
real
you go.
quick.
there
There
you
you
go.
go.
He didn't teach Baron Corbin then, so maybe she'll get something out of that.
She, I mean, Josh Briggs learned something because
Yeah,
he damn sure used it.
yeah, that shit looked good. He killed it that week. But yeah, I agree with that with the clothesline. It could be similar, like again, like I said, the roster cut with Brian Myers does. Like he kind of starts at edge, but he running clothesline. I think she could do something like that. And also she's like heavy and she has big arms. She is heavy, so I think it'll work. We got Becky Lynch versus Xia Li. Um, Solid match, but I didn't think Becky should have won this match. I think it probably would have went to a no contest, or at least the damage control fuck her matchup. I feel like to have Xia Li lose and then go into tomorrow to be in a title picture just doesn't fit right with me in that way.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that bugged me
Yeah,
was that the match was good. It's just at the end of the match was just like again, you stop the consistency mid match.
yeah,
And that what I mean by that is if you have a character who is a power character via martial arts and their whole thing is knocking people out, why would you let Becky get hit? Period. The
yeah.
whole thing should be she doesn't ever get hit and it makes it more believable. So if she gets caught, she either needs to get counted out or she can't make the 10 count in the ring.
I agree with that.
Like I understand Becky was going into war games, so you can't. the mindset is not have big star lose. I understand this. I'm not stupid. There's a thing called momentum. I get it. But you just derailed Xia Li the day before a championship match. So she looks like a loser.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here.
yeah,
So I think more my problem was less the match. It was less the match and more just the powers that be. I think the wrong person won. That was
yeah.
it.
Or it could have just went to a no contest and damage control, like fucking jumped her and shit. Like there's ways you could have did that without her having Becky win the match.
Yeah, but
Ooh.
you gotta go with what they gave you because they did the whole thing. The ref went out the ring
Yeah,
to count Becky out. Like she was struggling. She
yeah,
was swimming.
yeah,
So why didn't they just let her get not make it? I don't get it.
yeah. You could even had them
And then
stop
that could
her.
have had, and then they could have had that lead into the war games where she's slightly damaged because she got kicked in the head. Like you know, what I mean,
Yeah,
there's logical ways to have a big star kind of have a loss without making them look, like
yeah,
a bottom feeding chump.
yeah. And
But
I
you
think
know,
Becky's not gonna feel like is not gonna be phased by the loss either.
yeah,
Nah.
It doesn't
yeah.
really like
But
messes her routine up and shit. Like again, damage control was there. Maybe they distract the ref and hold her back so she gets fully conked out, or maybe they tie her shoe to a pole or something like that. Just to get again, there's other ways they could have done that. We got Johnny. You have anything for this?
Uh, nah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I basically explained how I felt about
all
it
right.
as well. Uh, Becky didn't need to win, but whatever.
Because I think the match was fair. Again, I still nothing away from the match. The match was actually really good. Johnny Gargano versus Ludwig Kaiser.
I
solid,
actually really like this
solid.
match.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I just really like this match, and I like the dynamic that um, Vinci caused Kaiser this match, and now Gunther is looking at uh, Kaiser like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?
Take care of your boy.
Hmm.
what you doing? Like, I don't understand." But like, it's planting the seeds for the whole group to break up, which I'm not entirely against because I feel like all three of them could actually succeed as singles wrestlers.
Yeah,
But a lot of people don't see the potential in Vinci. But if you watch his NXT stuff, man, he has potential. You just gotta
yeah.
give him a chance.
And it's funny.
So
His debut match was against Johnny Gargano, and he beat him in NXT.
there you go.
He was part of the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was. um, you want to add anything, Mike? Or Beans?
No, I mean I see the fractures there, but I don't think the plan is to break them up. But I think there's gonna be a thing where
Someone gonna do
Gunther
something.
forces them to team,
Yeah,
and there's gonna be a dynamic between the two teaming that if you guys don't pull it together, then like I think it's gonna start getting physical.
yeah. Gunther going.
Start putting hands on these men.
Oh yeah,
That's what I feel. But like I think this is gonna bring the fire out of them because if they both have to succeed, then they're gonna have to work together. Otherwise, they're gonna get chopped down. Is what it is.
Our
there's
next
gonna be a lot
match.
of blood on chest.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Next match we have is the Women's Tag Team Championship number one contender. You had Natalia Tia Knox. You had Katana Chase and Kaden Carter versus and Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, and Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree. It was a fun match.
Yeah, because what was it, impromptu?
Yeah.
It was them all yelling and screaming, and Pierce was like, "All right, you got a match, and you got a match." So that's how it went down. Uh, you kind of felt with a shift. Again, speaking of momentum, you felt the momentum of Tegan Knox and Natty. I was saying it for the longest time.
Yeah.
Well, I think I mentioned it last week. I said, aren't they going to be a tag team? And now they have matching gear, and they won this match.
Took
So
them to have matching
there
gear
you
to
go.
win a match.
But it's not like it was out of nowhere. They were rising up the entire time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes sense. I'm just gonna put it out there. Uh, Maxine looked great, and I'm interested in what they're gonna do with Ivy now.
Yeah, I actually dug them as a tag team and kind of gave me a Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross vibe, and I dug it.
A little bit,
But
but
yeah,
it's less that Ivy is crazy and more that she's not as
Maxine is the crazy one.
elegant. She's not as elegant as Maxine per se.
Yeah,
She's more of a punch you in the face and drive you on your head type of wrestler.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Knock your teeth out.
Yes, exactly.
yeah. I think Maxine
So
Dupree is the crazy one of the relationship.
yeah, she. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. I got you.
I enjoyed it though. I thought it was cute. They had some good spots too. They got the crowd into it as well. So I give credit for the match. It was fun. You got Chad Gable versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
That was solid. That was solid.
Very good.
Felt like a throwback to NXT.
Yep.
Yeah, that definitely was a throwback match. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, yes.
There's only one thing I had a problem with because on commentary they mentioned who was Shinsuke delivering a message to, uh, and I hope they don't lose the that whole through line of his character because I don't think it was Gable. You know what I mean? So we're
Uh,
still trying to figure out who's he taunting every week.
I think Monday we might, definitely Monday we might say.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. And then the main event was Jay Uso versus Drew McIntyre.
And this
I
was
think
for a thing, right?
this was for
Yeah,
the
the War Games
advantage.
advantage.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Drew McIntyre.
There you go.
So the
And
advantage was just pretty much who gets the first pick out of the cage, which they got the
and
advantage.
the match aside, the story they were telling us is that the only reason Drew's here, as he said in the beginning of the show, is I want to beat up Jey Uso in a cage. I don't care. That's what he wants to do, and he was guaranteeing a victory for the Judgment Day, and I'm I can't argue. He beat him clean. Bro beat him clean. No Judgment Day interference because they were banned from ringside. So I mean, it is what it is. Drew went out there and beat that man ass. So
I like the fact that we're using signature moves as finishes now. Sammy with the Blue Thunder Bomb and now Drew with the Future Shock. I did not expect him to win with the Future Shock.
yeah,
So
you
that
right. You
shocked
right.
me.
I
No
like
pun
when they do
intended.
that. I like when they do that. Like, see, that also gives that whole thing of when they kick out and they're like, "Oh my God, why is it not three?" Like, you never won a match with that move. So now
That's
he
true.
actually can be now Drew could be mad because he actually won a match with them.
But I mean, to be fair,
No, he won. He had
that
a, like
was
a
his
whole,
finisher.
yeah, he had like a whole
He's
year
had a whole
career. Yeah,
he's had a whole career of using that move to win. So it's okay.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I like when they use like I would like to see Seth Rollins like finish a match with the Falcon Arrow from the top rope. Just like
That's true.
as
Yeah,
in like
it's a
the
cool move.
yeah. Just like as in fatigue, like the dude is just they fought for so long, that was the last move and he gonna move after that. So I like when
I
they
would
do
like
that.
Kevin Owens to win a match with one of those flying moves because he is a big man flying and dropping on top of you.
Yeah,
And it makes sense if you can't kick out.
yeah,
Oh man.
especially the Swanton. It's a
Just saying.
big
I mean,
Swanton.
his frog splash ain't nothing to laugh at either.
Yeah,
His frog splash is lovely. I love
His
his frog splash.
his is better than Rey Mysterio. You kidding me?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Ray's is so stiff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like
All right. Monday Night Raw. Where you give it? Uh,
Uh, personally, I want to give it an A minus. I think it was just shy of being like a perfect Raw because I think the main part of this of the show that actually hit was the story.
Yeah,
It was pretty consistent. L- I think everything except for Xia Li hit for
yeah,
me,
I agree with
and
that.
not even the match. I think this like I just explained, the story going after that is just I think you made her character weaker for the story going forward. And I don't think that was good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I'm gonna go A minus as well. Ty.
I'll give it. I give it a B plus. It was a good go home show.
Okay.
It was a good go home show. I give it a B plus. The whole Xia Li thing, I am also a little affected by that because if you want to build up a new star, have like you said, have the booking consistent, have everything consistent.
Yeah.
But she did put on a good match on Tuesday, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
Move on to NXT. We kick off with the Heritage Cup, and we have Gable versus Dar.
This is the show I saw the least of this week. Sacrifices had to be made. So if y'all saw most of the show, go ahead.
Yeah. Um.
Man, I wish
Good.
everyone. I
Me too.
wish.
I thought
I
we
wish he
had
won.
a. He did technically win.
But
No,
yeah,
no, it
he
ended in a
did.
draw.
But
It ended in a draw.
I wish. I wish, man. It would have been a new dynamic for NXT. I think he's gonna continue to have matches on NXT,
Yeah,
but this would have been like the coming out party for me.
that would have been
But
cool. I could see the talent that he will face in that Heritage Cup. Imagine like Phaser versus Gable, and you have a lot of guys like in there that were former Heritage Cup champions too that could fight. Tyler Bate versus Gable. You could see some really good stuff off of that. So yeah, I'm hopefully
yeah,
like if they do fight again, it has a different turn. But I love Norm Dwyer and his character. I like his team, and fucking Otis and Otis like just flirting with this chick right in front of his other chick. That's fucked up.
oh, this is that guy. He's that man.
Remember, Maxine was his dude. Like
Whatever,
Maxine was attracted to Otis. That was her dude.
whatever Otis could get, he wants, and he want he he almost got another in his
Yep.
pocket.
The
This
last
man
legend
Otis.
might be with Otis soon. You got Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo versus Aegis Onof and Malik Blade. This was actually a really solid tag match too. Garza and Claudio Carrillo wins. Solid match. You have
I didn't
go ahead.
watch most of it.
Okay.
I had to go and use the bathroom, but I'm excited for what they will do with the Garzas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue calling them the Garzas because I don't feel like saying Humberto's last name because they're cousins.
Yeah.
So I I can't wait for what they do with LDF
Yeah.
and
If it
them
happens,
joining
because
in.
we don't know if it's gonna happen
Yeah,
yet. I'm actually okay with Santos being by himself too. Like I'm not gonna take away from that either.
I'm okay with that too
Yeah.
because he showed that he can work by himself. He
Yeah.
don't need people. So
We had the Iron Survivor qualifier. You had Carmelo Hayes versus Josh Briggs. Really good match. Really strong match. And Briggs looked like a fucking champ. I remember missed this Briggs from Evolve, and I think he is so talented. So I hope they start giving him that push. He's a nice sized dude, and he can knows how to move. And I would like to see more of that. But this also had Lexus King come interfere, and Briggs wins.
yeah, I think this is planting the seeds for Lexus and Mello,
Yeah,
obviously, but I also think I still feel like Melo's gonna cause Trick in this match. I don't know why.
yeah. There's a
I
big
just
chance.
sense it. So, but I definitely thought the match was really good.
All right.
Um, Josh Briggs, I'm interested to see what they do with him in the future.
Yeah.
So,
We had another Iron Survivor challenge. We had Blair Davenport versus Thea Hill. Wasn't much of a match. there was a lot of interference and a lot of things happening within the storyline of the Chase U, and Hale loses. Davenport takes the win. Um,
Yeah, there, a lot of Chase U drama going on.
yeah.
Don't know what they're gonna do with that.
We had Eddie Trope versus Charlie Dempsey, with Drew Gulak and Miles Bourne. This also didn't last long. Trope wins, and then Drew Dijak just comes in and beats the shit out of him for no reason. Wait, no, did that happen? Yeah.
Dijak never change.
Then you had the NXT Championship match, Lyra Valkyrie versus Xia Li. I actually thought this match was really strong, but again, I kind of wished like, we gave the Xia Li momentum and stuff like that. But they actually sold her really well. She looked extremely strong in this match. Probably one of Xia Li's best matches that she has so far, and with her and Becky was solid. But this one I think took the cake, and I'm actually liking the push they're giving Xia Li. I just hope that she stays healthy because that's been her biggest thing is not being healthy. Um,
Yeah, Xylee is actually really, she's really in shape,
yeah,
and I hopefully the crowd does get behind her more and more,
yeah,
because that's a thing with booking women, which is the sad thing is that a
yeah,
lot of people they don't get behind, and you have to really captivate the crowd.
yeah,
And I feel like Zaya does have that potential.
yeah,
You see that Lyra she's shown that she has that potential too.
yeah.
But Zaya, you give her a couple more great matches, give her a couple more uh, pushes, and I think things will change for her in a good way.
All right, cool. All right, NXT, where you give it?
I give it a solid B. It could have been better, but I am looking forward to NXT deadline because I will be there.
I'm gonna go a little lower. I gotta go C plus. I think there were some things in the show that could have been brought more into story arc. I think some of the women's matches could have been a bit more clean and bit better, more story arc as well. I am liking Iron Survivor challenges. I think they are doing good with the picks they're putting in the match, and not just a predictable pick. Like I didn't expect Josh Briggs to win at all, and they in fact put him in it. I'm actually excited for that. But I go C plus. I think they had better weeks. This was probably the one that it wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. It was an okay show. Um, I'm gonna move on to AEW Dynamite. Uh,
That was my sacrifice of the week.
that was your
I'm not gonna
sacrifice.
say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So pretty much in the beginning of the show, they introduced the Continental Classic. Um, they kind of give you the rules of the breakdown of the rules and everything like that. So the Continental Classic is pretty much like it's like the G1 in brackets is that square bracket thing. So you got two groups. You
Yeah,
got
it's the
Group
American
Gold.
G1.
Yeah, you got Group Gold and Group Blue. Group Blue consists of Andrade, Brian Danielson, Brody King, Claudio, Daniel Garcia, and Eddie Kingston, which he's also putting his ROH and New Japan Strong titles on the line with that as well. So the winner of this will be a Triple Crown champion. The gold group had Jay Lethal, Jay White, John Moxley, Mark Briscoe, Roosh, and Swerve Strickland. The rules are there's 20-minute time limit match. There will be no seconds allowed at ringside. Nobody is allowed on ringside. So it has to be a pinfall submission or time limit draw. You get 3 points for a win and you get 1 point for a draw. So that's the rules of that. We kick off with Continental Classic Gold League. We have Swerve Strickland versus Jay Lethal. One thing I'll say about AEW's matches this week, they have been solid matches, just not much story. So I will say Swerve and Jay Lethal was a great match. Swerve takes the win and he gets 3 points on his scoreboard. Um, you go into MJF, Adam Cole. They came out, had their promo. Samoa Joe. Solid promos going back and forth. You got trios match. You got Orange Cassidy, Hook, and Sabata versus Danny Magic, Cool Hand, and Jake Hager. Guess who wins? I know who wins. Orange Cassidy's group won,
Cassidy.
but it was the returning of Dan Housing too, which is great. I like Dan Housing.
Oh,
Chris
my boy
Reed,
Dan came back.
huh?
Oh wow, Dan Houser came back. I
Yeah,
didn't
he
even
came.
know
He returned.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christian Cage. He was the Thanksgiving gift that Orange Cassidy had that they didn't let him talk about.
Oh.
You got Christian Cage and Reed Christians, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus. So Nick Wayne is the prodigy. Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus is the Kill Switch, which I'm a little disappointed because he didn't get change his look or anything. He just still a dinosaur, just with a new name. But pretty much it went like that, and then they try to do the concerto to Nick's mom, and then Adam Copeland comes and he clears the ring, and the concerto's Nick Wayne in front of his mom. It's fucked up. Uh, yeah, it's Continental Classic Gold League Rush versus Jay White. Um, again, I think Jay White is gonna win a lot of these matches. Again, I don't see him losing much. So White wins this match. It was a solid match. I think those were the highlights of the show was the Continental Classic stuff. And then you had Sky Blue versus Ruby Soho versus Anna Jay. This was just a match going fact. Blue Sky Blue wins. She needs to change her finisher. That's all I have to say about that.
What was the point of that match?
I don't know. They didn't have no contendership or anything like that, but the fact that
So not.
Sky Blue needs a new finisher, especially if she's changing her character and that, like, she can't just keep doing the same exact shit. She kind of has to adjust that. Again, I said there was this full Nelson DDT she did. She should use that as a finisher. And then our main event of this show was Jay Briscoe versus John Moxley for, again, Continental Classic Gold Round, and Moxley defeats him. Solid match. Again, Moxley sneezes and he bleeds, but it was a solid match, and Moxley gets the 3 points. AEW overall, I say match quality wise, I'll give it a B minus. I thought the matches were solid with the Continental tournament, but everything else kind of fell wayside. MJF Samoa Joe has a good storyline going, but again, I wanted more of an aftermath for Swerve Strickland, like a promo or something. Man just beat the shit out of someone and made him blood, and dude drank his own blood and all that shit. And we got nothing. We got nothing off of that, and I'm a little disappointed with that. So, actually, I'll go C plus for Fan. This is gonna go C plus, but the Continental matches were actually really good.
And,
Um, you didn't watch AEW, right?
say that again?
You didn't watch it, right?
Nah,
All right.
like I said, I had to do stuff on Wednesday.
Okay.
But from
Okay.
what I saw on the side, it seemed like all the matches were actually pretty decent. Um, but I would have to actually, go in and watch. So
Okay.
All right. Hold on.
Go ahead,
Question.
Queeby.
Question.
Yep.
Um, you guys going to AEW now? Or no.
I just finished AEW.
All right. What you
You
give
want to
the
run your?
show? I'm curious.
I gave it a C plus.
Uh, First match was good. I like that one.
I liked
Um,
all the Continental matches. I thought were good.
yeah, that's basically how I felt. I thought the 6 man was fun. Uh, I like Christian segment.
I
I
thought
think
either
it was
way.
over the top.
I think either way it was fucked up because somehow some way Nick Wayne got Concerto in front of his mom.
Yes, yes. But you see what ended up happening is he turns Edge into a crazy person.
Yeah, well,
So
it was kind of crazy.
there's something going forward there.
Yeah,
Um, I believe that's about it. I did not see Tony accept her championship. I have to watch the highlight. I did not see the 3-way fight with the girls. So
she needs a new finisher, Sky Blue. and I think like 'cause she's always missing it, and it doesn't look good at all.
Gotcha, gotcha. I
Uh,
just don't like that move in general.
yeah. And then my other big thing is like again, by storyline arc wise, there was no like aftermath for Swerve. Like after that brutal ass match, and you gave us there was nothing after that.
Yeah, that that seemed a little tone deaf. Um, I think we agree. I don't think he should be in this tournament.
No, unless he's gonna win.
I don't think he should win. I don't think he should win. I don't think he should be in the tournament. I think he should lose. And I think we need to get him back on the track for the main title scene.
I agree. I thought that should have been what happened on Dynamite is that he went after MJF.
Yeah.
All right, we go to. So what you gonna give it overall?
I didn't see most of the show, so I have to give it a B minus, I guess, because I saw all those continental matches.
Yeah,
So
and they were good. They were good. All right, WWE SmackDown. We kick off with Becky Lynch and her team kicked off SmackDown.
man,
I
why
don't
is she
know.
so mad?
I don't know, but there's a lot of there were a lot of tension, and Bailey
Did
got it
Charlotte
all
poop in her
out.
bag?
She probably did.
Did Charlotte poop in her gear bag? Like what happened?
Big champ.
Why is
Yeah,
she so mad?
that's why she's still mad at her. You didn't buy me a new bag.
Hmm.
I still have the shit in it. Like, why you kept the shit so
I
long?
keep it as a I keep it as a reminder.
For vengeance.
The shit is probably mildew and mold and all that extra
Probably a
shit, and you
rock.
carrying it.
It became a it
Yeah,
became alive.
yeah, it's
Um,
probably walking in the back now. Like,
I don't.
nasty.
I'll say the only thing that bothered me. I love Shanti, but her overacting shit is kind of like, uh,
I thought I thought it was Shotzi. Why not?
yeah.
She's
It,
crazy. Look, how you gonna tell a character that looks like that not to overreact? Come on, man.
I don't know. I just felt like it was too. It was like
She
it
looks
was
like.
acting. It was trying to be acting and not natural.
Look, don't say that. She is an actress. She has credits to her name. But Shotzi, look, that's what I'm saying. It fit the character. She's damaged and she's crazy. What more do you want? That's all I got to say.
All right,
If the shoe fits,
there
that's
you go.
how it is.
We got undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. We got the Judgment Day versus the Hurt Profits.
I really wanted the Hurt Profits to win this match. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but it at the time, right now, it kind of doesn't make any sense for them to win.
Yeah,
But they need the momentum, and them winning this match would have been amazing, especially for War Games. Now, Judgment Day, they did look strong in this match. Good. So did the Profits,
yeah.
and I'm happy with the Profits, how much they've improved over the years. So,
Okay.
and they're
I
supposed to be heels,
I agree.
but
I agree.
they aren't. They're supposed to be heels, but they aren't. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't boo three of probably the most likable guys on the roster,
I could boo
and
anybody.
any sort of way. Nah, I can't boo Angelo. Angelo's my dog, man.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can't boo him.
He's a
I
Laker
mean,
fan. I could
you
boo his
got a
ass
good
all the
point.
time. I think he's a Laker
You got a
fan.
good
I
point
could boo
though.
him.
That's
No,
me.
but what you're saying is true about it because if you know you notice the reaction for Bobby, they still they still chant Bobby even when he
Yeah.
cheats. And then the Prophets, they don't get booed.
Yeah.
I think the only time they got booed was when they like attacked Rey Mysterio. Remember? That was
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Everybody attacks Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, they do get booed.
Right.
Yeah, that's
That might change. I don't know. I don't know. Santos might be on to something.
Santos is on something.
Uh, I
They
do
cross
agree.
over.
I wish they won.
Yeah,
I do wish they won. But the other thing I told you, this does set off a confrontation. I hope they don't forget about it.
yeah, I
They
agree.
set up the backstage that as soon as they lost, Bobby Lashley got pissed and stormed off because they got cheated.
You gonna beat their ass.
They got Judgment Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it makes sense for them to have B-Fab as sort of an equalizer
yeah. What's she gonna
because
do?
they need somebody.
What's she gonna do
Well,
to
they
Rhea
need somebody
Ripley?
to they need somebody to put hands on her.
Yeah, look at Zelina. Look what she tried.
She tried to wrestle her. She didn't just put hands on her.
No,
Is what I'm saying.
yeah.
B-Fab could come to the ring with a slapjack
She gonna be
and do
more
some
than that. She's gonna
damage.
need a
All I'm
taser.
saying.
She's gonna need a taser and backup.
Need the Goldberg taser. I don't
No,
Yeah,
know.
all
because
she need to do is call 2009 Randy Orton, and he'll do the work for her.
yeah,
No, what was it? 2018,
he
2019,
he did it
Randy
more
that got
recently.
Nia Jax.
Yeah,
No, 2021 with Beth
Okay, it was
Phoenix.
2021.
yeah,
All right,
2020.
yeah.
Yeah, he did Beth Phoenix as well.
There
Um,
you go.
and he did Alexa Bliss the year before that.
hmm
Yeah, Randy don't care.
But she was a monster lady. You gotta let that slide.
So what was Nia Jackson and Beth Phoenix?
Beth Phoenix technically was a monster lady. She had the spirit of Bonacano in her, so she was a monster lady.
She had the spirit of
This
Ona
purple
Kano. That's
She
crazy.
ain't dead.
You saw the face paint,
Yes, I did.
but she ain't wrestling,
She
is
has
she?
essence. My only
hmm
gripe with
hmm
this is like I think they shouldn't have done that this week. Well, then again, like you said, they had the storyline with Bobby Lashley in the backstage, so they actually have something to go with it for next week at least. So the loss is gonna have consequences within that team and stuff like that. But I would have waited to after the War Games match because again, Judgment Day was gonna lose. This is also a match that you could have had Cody Rhodes or someone else like kind of get a DQ, disqualification, things like that, just because it buys in the story of the War Games match. But
I would say before we go to the next thing,
yeah,
I would say the one way I could have saw them lose was they lose the titles, whether by Bobby helping them or whatever, because again, this is like the big thing that we're noticing is that at least now WWE is doing right by people uh having momentum and wins carrying them into events,
yeah,
and they lost war games. So if they were going to lose war games, it would have made more sense for them to go into war games with that losing
yeah,
uh that little bit of loss on their side already, and then that would have been like, oh, they're down,
yeah,
so take the momentum away because the Judgment Day has all the momentum. I'm just saying they do.
yeah. We go to the Grayson Waller effect, which kind of backfired on him. His guest was Kevin Owens, and it was Austin Theory dressed as Kevin Owens, even though Corey Graves been away for a while and thought Austin Theory was Kevin Owens. Anyway, then Kevin Owens comes out. Kevin Owens comes up thinking that he was the guest of the show, and he was like, "Oh, I thought you were fine." He was like, "Yes, I was fine. Now I'm here. I was invited, right?" I love this whole segment. I thought the whole shit was hilarious. LA Knight comes in to like, cause they said his name 3 times, and then after you know what happens when you say the number 3 times, they pop up, and it was fun. It was a very fun segment. I thought the match was actually fun as well. I enjoyed it.
I agree. I agree. So wait, does
Uh,
that mean LA Knight is now Beetlejuice?
Yep.
wow.
You say LA Knight 3 times and he appears.
Well, there was time. Well, Gunther broke the rules all the time, and that's what was pissing off Kevin Owens because he would start showing up in the second time they mentioned him, not the first, not the third. See, he the unwritten rules he was breaking all the time, and that's why he was so pissed.
And that's why he is the greatest intercontinental champion.
We got.
Hey now.
Good. You got anything
No, no,
else?
no. I
Go
was
ahead.
just saying, hey now.
Yeah.
Nah, that's it.
We got Santo
Also, shout outs
Escobar.
to
Go ahead.
Theory's dropkick. Shout outs to
Yes.
Theory's dropkick.
There you
He
go.
kicked KO on the lip. Just saying.
He almost went over his head.
Yes, sir.
That like
Yes, he
I
did.
just saw him fly, and I was like, holy shit.
That would have been an amazing match if people would have went over his head.
We got Santo Escobar. He attacks Carlito, and Carlito's put out for injury, and Dragon Lee is gonna take his spot at Survivor Series.
That is 100% that security guard's fault.
I blame him too.
Because
Oh,
if
well.
he wasn't holding him out with his arm up like that, Santos wouldn't have got him. Just saying.
Yep.
Just saying.
And just because he left doesn't mean he's coming back. He just ran around the crowd and came back.
True that.
You can't just trust the person's going to leave. You got to
Hmm.
escort them
Yeah,
out.
especially him. Especially him.
No, this is in general. This
Motherfucker.
security, like you can't just escort them out and just expect them to just leave quietly. Like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm leaving. I'm going home. No, he fucking like fuck you. Ran around. Anyway,
No, I'm going to fuck this person up.
yep. We got Brawling Bruce versus Pretty Deadly. Solid match. It was fat. It was a nice match. Pretty Deadly wins. And there was some story with
There are the.
Holland walking away from Butch.
I like the dissension within the groups. This is definitely, I think, is going to push both guys
Nice.
into higher, status, especially Rich Holland, who needs it because of his history of, quote unquote, injuring people. So I think this is a step in the right direction for both.
I think I think he been past that. I think that injury
Yeah,
that
of
happened with
course.
Big E, I think he improved so much after that, and he really stepped it up after that. And I think he became a better wrestler. He's timing his size, his moves more and all that stuff. I like it because maybe there's a chance we get Pete Dunne back to give him his name back.
He don't forget that's still his name.
Yes.
Still his name. His middle name is Butch. I mean his nickname is Butch. Excuse me.
His middle name. He's Pete Dunne.
His
Pete
moniker.
Butch
That's what they call
Dunne.
it. His moniker is Butch.
But
Uh, I think it's good because it shows like they need Sheamus.
yes, we may Sheamus.
The Brawling Brutes need him to keep them together to help them focus. Because to be honest, Rich Holland wouldn't have pulled that shit if Sheamus was there. He'd have got slapped.
Yep. Ooh, that bro kicked in the head.
You can't just walk off. You can't just
Would have
walk
broke
off
his
on your
nose
homie.
again.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So, um, aside from that, Pretty Deadly doing what they do. They're on the upside. So,
Yep.
good news for them.
And Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus Bailey and Asuka. This was for their advantage at War Games.
And see this. I mean, they wanted to fight. Bailey, not Bailey. Becky and Charlotte
Charlotte.
wanted to have a match. They wanted to fight. So they were game for this. Bailey, on the other hand, was not. She got dragged into the fight, but obviously Becky remembered the poop in the bag, and so they, they could not coexist. Now, I would just want to point this out to you, Mark. Remember 2, 3 months ago when they did this with Bianca and Charlotte,
Yep.
and they was beating everybody, and I was telling you it doesn't make sense because this is the land of can they coexist?
Yeah.
But they were beating people who were established tag teams. And it was just like, that's not how you make the division stronger. That's how you make two separate people look stronger than your tag team
Yeah.
division. This was the right way to do it. Because guess what? The tag team won because the other two could not coexist.
Yes.
What do you know?
They
So
both
there you go.
were. They both were never tag teams. So there you go. You had two people that couldn't coexist with each other, but one took advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
They listen to you.
technically, there's probably a whiteboard in the back, and damage control
They had
writes
a plan.
ideas on there.
They drew their
And
characters. One had a pirate
yeah,
hat
and
on.
Oscar is a clown because she writes it all in Japanese, knowing that nobody else except her girls can read it.
Yeah, it's her. No, everyone but Bailey could read it.
But Billy, mm,
Because Dakota Kai knows Japanese.
this is true. This is
She
true.
she she earned her Japanese skill in Duolingo.
So
SmackDown, what you give it?
SmackDown, I guess I give it a A minus. It was a good show, but it just needed something extra. I don't know what it was, what it could have been, but it didn't quite hit the highest mark for me this week.
All right. I'm gonna go.
Man,
I go A minus as well.
I would say I probably have to agree with you. A minus. I feel like SmackDown was the better show
Mm.
uh, for the week for WWE. Um, but obviously, yeah, there's something that's missing, and he's trying to be here for the next month. Sir Roman need to come back.
Ooh.
He don't have to. He'd come when he wants to.
He can say hi. I mean, he only has to sit in the back room.
He'll
You know
do
what
it
I'm
from
saying?
Yeah,
via satellite.
There you go.
satellite just have to rock all the time.
I mean, why hasn't he all this time? He should.
Yeah.
It should be Roman with the big satellite phone. Just he's on an island somewhere, literally on an island.
The
Nah,
island of
irrelevance.
relevancy.
Yes,
It'll
sir.
be that'll be the technically island.
Yeah, and it's just him with the briefcase with the big satellite phone, just calling in. That
Yeah.
would be great.
We move on. I did watch Collision. I don't think you guys watched it.
Too much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Hell,
I didn't watch the Rampage part because they made it 3 hours long, and I didn't give a fuck if Wheeler Euler took the title. I forgot that it was a pure title to begin with. I guess Sabata has it. But Wheeler Euler is the new pure champion. I'll just run through the Continental Classic. They had the Blue League on Collision. I think the Blue League's gonna be on Collision. The Gold League's gonna be on Dynamite. So you had Daniel Garcia versus Claudio. Claudio takes the win and gets 3 points. Has Gravity ever won a match?
Oh my man.
Has he ever won a match?
Damn. Uh, he was wrestling, I think, before they got rid of Dark, so maybe he got one.
Well, his losing streak continues, and he fought House of
Oh,
Black, Buddy Murphy, Buddy, and Aleister Black
ow,
or Malachi Black.
ow. Damn it, Gravity.
It's him and Commander versus Gravity and Commander.
Yeah,
So
damn it.
this is a match I had issues with. Julia Hart versus Lady Frost for the TBS Championship.
Okay.
I like Lady
Mm-hmm.
Frost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of her. It's bad when you kind of doing it. Well, this was they kind of had made this match like a enhancement. It was more Julia taking over the match, but Lady Frost is just you could see in the match just so much better than her. Like in movement
Mm-hmm.
wise, thinking wise, how she sees herself in the ring. That it's just sad that it's like, yo, you need more time. They should never give the title on you if you didn't have the time like this. I would have took
Mm-hmm.
Frost taking the title the day one, but no, Julie Hart wins. It was not a great match. The Righteous versus FTR. You know who wins. I don't even have to say it.
This is true.
I am starting to give less of a fuck
Yeah,
about FTR. I'm bored of them. I'm
I
sorry.
like FTR a lot. It's just that when I think what happens with AEW, and we've been talking about this for a long time, is that they give you a card that you could easily predict. They don't give you the surprise wins. They don't give you the surprise things at all. You know exactly who's gonna win because you know how exactly where they're at the card. Because I'll give you the next match and bet you could tell who won. Keith Lee versus Lee Moriarty. Guess who won?
Oh man,
I
I'm not even gonna
know,
say.
but it's sad because I like both those guys. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I'm not even gonna say.
And then
but
the
we
main
know
event,
Keith Lee
yeah,
won.
yeah. And then the main event was Eddie Kingston versus Brody King. I thought the match was solid. I thought Eddie Kingston should have won, but Brody King took the title. Took the match. He didn't take the titles. The titles is the winner of this whole tournament.
Yes, yes.
I'll give Collision a C plus, just because the Continental matches are good. The rest of the show was, again, it's becoming a Rampage 2.0 and not the Collision that they started off with. So it's getting kind of hard to watch. All right,
Mm.
now we go to our review of Survivor Series. The way we
Oh boy.
Yes, we go 1 to 5, 5 being the best, one being the worst. So that's how we can give our ratings and stuff like that. We'll kick off with the women's War Games match. Who wants to start?
I I I thought it was a solid match. I thought it got better as it went on, right? I do believe that the weakest part was the start. Um, is and I say this because remember we had an amazing, brutal cage match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus.
Yeah,
So now every time I see Becky in a cage, I always feel that that's the standard that we have to live up to. They kind of knocked it out of the park with that match,
yeah,
and this had not even a third of the physicality, even including the weapons.
yeah,
And then there were just too many moments during this match where it just looked like they were trying not to kill each other,
yeah,
and that's a good thing. But when it's in the middle of a match and you can see it, that's not great, and that took me out.
yeah. I
There were
agree with
like
that.
the moments like when Dakota introduced the first kendo stick and she poked Becky and Becky took like 3 whole minutes to react to it.
Yeah,
Like she was groaning in pain. Ah, ah. Meanwhile, Dakota's standing there with the kendo stick sticking in the thing because Becky was supposed to grab it.
yeah,
So it made Dakota look dumb. And again, when you do that, miscues and little miscommunications, it takes away. I had to take points away. So as a whole, I thought it was fun, but it had quite a few of those little hiccups here. Like Shotzi with the chair. When I'll give you my main moment that kind of took me out of it.
she did the Hogan
When sh
carrot.
Yeah, she literally did the Hogan chair shot. When Bailey was climbing up with Becky,
Yeah,
and they both had weapons aimed at Bailey's back, and you see just Shotzi like, well, I'm not gonna kill Bailey. I could hit her as hard as I can, but I'm not trying to injure her.
she did the
But
Hogan
you
carrot.
forgot you're on camera doing that. And so she does the Hogan pat on the butt, and I'm just like, oh my God, she did not just do that. And then stop using the chair immediately after. And I'm like, sis, you got a weapon. Bailey
She
doesn't
did.
have a weapon, and her legs and back are exposed to you. What are you doing? And it's just like, yeah, you took me out. So I'm gonna have to give it a 3.5.
3-5. Okay.
Yeah.
She did it for all the guys that wanted to look at. You know what?
hmm
Let me
hmm
let me not say that. I thought
She
the
said, "I
match was
just want
good.
to see it jiggle, just once."
I
That's
just want to see it jiggle. I just want to see it move. You know,
Enough to jiggle.
that's it.
but yeah, I thought it was a good match. I didn't have an entire problem with the match. Yeah, there was some spots that were missed, but all in all, I feel like it. While it, in my opinion, it wasn't better than last year's. Um, I still think it was good. Still think it was good. Um, I give it a 3.5.
Didn't have to. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it from. I think it took time to cook up and get really good. Kari Sane had me
yeah.
rolling because she still did her whole skip to get in the ring. She had no rush to go in there, and I just liked how she messed around with the crowd. Like everyone was yelling tables, and she was just like, "No, I'll put this in. I'll put that in. Fuck what you say." I did like that tag move between Io and Kari. I mean, she lifted her up and did the elbow drop, and then funny thing is, Shanti pushed the chairs off her right before she landed. Um, I'll say work with the camera because you saw like the weight spots, and that kind of annoyed me with the Charlotte backflip. And I understand those spots need to be safe and be careful and stuff like that, but the camera person has to be better with not showing the weight. I think they did it good with EO Skies, but they kind of messed up with the backflip from Charlotte. I enjoyed it a bit more than I give it. I'm gonna give it a little bit more just because I did enjoy the physicality and towards the ending and stuff like that. And I like that Chauncey got sprayed and missed in the face. It made me laugh. She almost got it twice.
I would
She
just
needed
add,
that.
I would
She
just
needed
add
that.
the thing that made me laugh the most. It was unintentionally funny. It was when Charlotte did her backflip. If you if you noticed, she kicked EO square in the head,
Yes, and she has the scarf
and
to
then
prove
EO
it.
was on the and EO was on the ground just holding her head the entire time. Like I'm sure she wasn't hurt, but
Yeah,
she was selling it, and it had me dying laughing.
she
She's
has
just
a
like, "Oh my
she has a
head."
gash. She has a gash on her forehead.
She did.
Yeah, she
Oh,
has a gash on her forehead.
she got a boo
Yeah,
Um,
boo
she
from it.
posted it.
I go 375 because I did like there was a lot of things I did like about the match, but yeah I could agree that there was times that it was just lacking. There's just they gotta find their spots better. Like this is probably Shanti's biggest spotlight on her with this match, as in Survivor Series being in War Games and not just NXT. But this is her probably her biggest spot, and those are the things that she has to really think about that she does. Cause yeah, she definitely did a Hogan tap, and that was funny as hell. And then also you see Becky like wail on Bailey, and then she goes, "Dee,"
Hmm.
and that's the big
Hmm.
difference of the two. Yeah, I'm gonna go 375. I did enjoy the match. Next match we go Intercontinental Championship match. You got the Miz versus Gunther.
For me, I think this was the match of the night.
I was gonna say the same thing.
This is shout outs to the Miz. I mean, Gunter, we know he puts in that work, but shout outs to the Miz because he was doing things that, again, leading up to this, he hasn't been doing in a long time, and he was wrestling smart.
Yeah,
You gotta give anybody credit when they wrestle somebody that powerful, smart. You know what it felt like? I'm not gonna lie, it felt like when Finn Balor fought Brock Lesnar.
yeah, I could agree with that.
And he had to find a way, or more accurately, it kind of felt like when Daniel Bryan fought Brock Lesnar, because Daniel Bryan went for Brock's legs,
Yeah,
like after he got tossed around for like half the match, but
and
he
hit him
he
in the
he
balls
sort of
twice, but
this is
after
true,
that he went for the
but
leg.
I mean. I mean, Miz did what he had to do. He went for the leg, and then he went for the low blow. He went for the ref. Hey, ref, over here, and then kicked him in the knee and kicked him in the nuts. Like Miz wrestled extremely smart.
Yeah,
So I gotta give 100% credit to that. Um, and like I said, Gunter did what he did, and shout outs to Miz for kicking out the powerbomb.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That shows some character on the Miz's behalf. Like put some respect. Like Booker T says, respect on his name. So I'm gonna give it a 4 or 5.
um, you wanna go next time?
I'm actually gonna give it a 5.
Nice.
I really like this match. For everything for what it's worth. It showed that the Miz, all the matches building up to this showed that the Miz can still go with anybody. And we all know how great Gunther is, but the fact that I was sold on the Miz winning during this match shows that they did a really good job with this match. And I wonder who produced it
Nice.
because they deserve 5 stars as well. Um, there's not really much else I can say about the match. Like it was just that good to me. I truly think it was match of the night. And people are gonna I feel like people are gonna talk about it more as they rewatch this pay per view.
Yeah.
and they're gonna realize that hey, maybe Miz does deserve a lot of his flowers that some people give him.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
Shane Helms is the producer of this match.
why did I expect that? I knew it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hurricane. We appreciate it.
As a match wise, without like anything, like again, like the gimmick matches and stuff like that, this was probably the match of the night for me. Um, if you listen to our cast before, you know for a fact how high we are on the Miz. We are very big fans of the Miz. We loved what he does and what he works, and when he's good, he's fucking good. And I think he showed a lot of that in this match. My other thing is the physicality that he brought back to Gunther as well. I think he gave everything he had to Gunther, and I will love to see this match replayed again and see where it goes from there. I also liked the fact that there was two record. Well, there was a record staying alive and a record to be broken if Miz would have won. He would have tied Chris Jericho's IC title record with 9. So there was some more importance to that too. Is like the history books was on is on the and on the ground as well. Um, Miz showcase and just the crowd showing the love that again he got to a point. He's at the point in his career that people just respect him now. Like they want to boo him, but they want to cheer him because they again everyone likes the Miz in that sense, and it was just a sense of respect. And him and Gunther had good chemistry. They did a lot of great things together, and I 100% really enjoyed this match. I'm gonna go 4.75. Like I really enjoyed this match. I would have probably give it a 5 if Miz would have won.
Same, same.
Yeah, but it was a hell of a match, and these guys, I would love to see it again. So yeah, yeah, that was good. All right, we go to the next match. So yeah, Jason Jordan did the Zoe and Rhea Ripley.
Congrats to him because
Alright.
I thought it was. Um. They're trying to get me before I give my thoughts
You
in.
can't say nothing. You can't
Scott
say nothing.
Steiner's like
I'll go
no.
first with this one.
All right, go ahead.
I'll go first with this one. I really enjoy the fact that we're seeing, lucha league stars in the main, WWE pay. Um, Santos as a heel, even by himself, is amazing, and a lot of people didn't get to watch him. Ooh, I thought I was lying. A lot of people didn't get to watch him in NXT be a heel,
Yeah,
and he was as amazing now. I think he's gotten better now, especially with the little face run that he had. Um, it was fast paced. They didn't have much time, but for what it's worth, it was good. It was good, and I'm glad to see that Dragon Lee also had a pay per view match in the year 2023 because I was very concerned that he wasn't going to get one. Um, so I'm happy for the both of them. I feel like the potential for both of them is skyrocketing, and I give this match a solid 4 actually.
yeah,
Solid 4.
cool,
It worked well for what it was supposed to be.
nice. Louis Beans, they catch you.
The world is on fire.
There's still more. Ooh.
Scott Steiner does not like this match.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. All right. We clear. We clear. I got you. Um. Now, uh, this one gave me 205 Live vibes. I don't know if it was the color of the ropes. I don't know if it was the combatants in the ring, but this 100% felt like a 205 Live match to me in the best way possible. Um, like you said, Mark, we talked about it. I think they need to bring that cruiserweight championship back. I think Santos needs it, but I also think he needs to be U.S. champ because that was his goal.
yeah,
But I think he needs some type of goal because he's a badass. But he's also good at bringing out good matches with just about anybody.
yeah,
And we already saw Dragon Lee have excellent matches on in NXT, but also with Cedric
yeah.
leading up to this. So again, this was amazing. I would have been happy if it went either way, but I'm glad Santos won. Um, and I will say I think that Dragon Lee took Rhea Ripley's diss personally because why is he wearing more Batman colors? I get I don't care what it was actually. I don't care what it actually was. He was wearing blue and yellow and he had the utility belt looking thing on his pants. So once again, he is Batman. Sorry. I'm gonna give it a four. I'm
Nice.
gonna give it a four.
I'm gonna go four as well. I thought it was a solid match, and the whole comparison to the 205 Live is spot on. I thought they brought a lot of nice things together, and I think they have great chemistry. I know they have fought before in other federations, so basically bringing this here was great. I liked the ripping of the mask and things like that. Him trying to rip the mask off and everything always builds a good thing of a heel for a creature, especially someone that wears a mask. I think he should do that to mask wrestlers. Like if anyone that has another mask, I think he should try to rip it off and take it and shit, just because they all look like Rey Mysterio to him, kind of thing. But other than that, I really enjoyed the match. I like the story they told, and yeah, solid four. I'll get a four. Next match, we got the women's world championship match. You got Zoe Stark versus Rhea Ripley.
Uh,
Go start.
I'll go first.
Good.
I think this one was a solid women's match. I think this one was a very good showing for Zoe. Like she's been spot on since they brought her up. Everybody they put her with, every situation they put her in, she killed it. Um, like you said, that choke where she spun, like did a flip in the air and landed, like that was like on her neck or whatever.
Yeah.
They were- I don't know what they were going for, but yeah, her flipping did make it look awesome.
Yeah.
But I will give credit because here's the thing that's not really talked about too much is that Rhea's a big ass woman.
Mhm.
And so when you have somebody who's willing and able to go toe to toe with her, you gotta pay attention to them. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like her just ragdolling Zoe around.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could toss her, but Zoe came right back at her. She absorbed the punishment. Like she had to be put down. You know what I mean? It was that type of situation. So I give her all the credit in the world. And
Nice.
this one I'm gonna also give her four.
Good, sir.
I'll go next. Zoe just needs a mouthpiece at this point, and that's it. Like I feel like her in-ring ability is actually on a different level compared to a lot of the other people that came up from NXT. Um, that, like you said, that choke, that quote unquote boss choke slam, I don't even think that was a botch at this point because it just looked so natural that why would we call it a botch? It looked great,
It was
and
improvised.
yeah, it was improvised. Um, and we all know how Rhea is, and people are saying that Rhea doesn't have competition. You you just saw competition right there.
Yo, that
Zoe is competition.
Monday Night Raw right now has probably all the biggest girls there.
Yeah, exactly.
If they had Bianca, that would
Um,
just be a cheat code on Raw compared to the SmackDown side. Like all the giant ladies are on Raw.
so I also give it a four. This pay per view in the mix. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but I also give this a four. I
nice.
give this a four. 3.75. Just to be a little quote unquote.
Nah,
But the match was really great.
yeah. I'm gonna go four again. I think their chemistry showed they actually worked good together. Seeing that this was their first match one on one. Um, I think this was a match to really highlight Zoe into the title picture and not more Rhea, not to just showcase Rhea. And I think they did a good job in showing what Zoe could do. Even though she looked like she got her face ran over with the damn makeup she had, I thought she got a tire ran over her face. I see what she's going for, but I thought it was tire marks. I'm sorry. Um, I thought the match was really physical. I thought it was physical when it had to be. I think it was really hard hitting. I'm happy to see Zoe in this spot. I think she's really good, and I can't wait to see what she does like future with people like around her size and things like that too, because she really showcased a good showing with Rhea Ripley, and she felt like 100% that she deserved to be there as well. So I'll go for it as well.
Okay.
And then our main event is War Games, the men's.
The cream of the crop.
You got the Judgment Day with Drew McIntyre versus Rhodes, Uso, Zayn, Rollins, and Randall Keith Orton. The return.
The cream of the crop.
Mike, Louis,
I'm
you
a
want to start or you want to start?
Yeah, he could go first. I'm I'm staying quiet.
Okay. This match, I think the credit in the Judgment Day part because again, it was kind of a swerve of whether or not he was in the Judgment Day, but I think the way they handled his motivations were actually good. Um, so you got to kind of factor that into the match because that was one of the things they kept playing on the camera a lot, especially when it was time for Priest to go in and those two had to stick to the plan, so to speak. Um, I think this one started and maintained the energy level all the way through better than the women's one. I think Finn and Seth were, I don't want to say the perfect two to start, but I think they were two of the best choices to start the match. So it just wouldn't be kind of bland because I think Finn, not Finn, Steph's character with the singing, it just helped add to that match, especially in the beginning when there's not much going on because you got a moment or two to give the fans, the time to sing the song and whatnot. So again, there's a lot of things that went down. I think there was a lot of fun moments, a lot of silly things that they did, like when they both caught Finn with the bull rope
Yeah,
and hit him with the yam bag Jones. Um, I just a lot of the personal altercations in the ring. It just if I think Drew McIntyre needs to be watched because I think he wanted to stab Jey Uso for real. Um, and then we had Rhea seconds away, seconds away. If she had, if Randall Keefe had ran to the ring, he could have RKO'd her when she brought the briefcase out. That's all I'm saying.
could have.
We missed a moment.
He just came back
Missed
from
a moment in
injury.
his.
Injury, so I don't think he's gonna RKO anyone on the floor just yet.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. That's Randall Keefe right there. That's Randall Keefe.
Yes.
He ain't about making sense. He's about making moments. So let him do what he do. Um, and then I think that was the best. Once Randall Keefe got in there, that was it. I think the notches were turned up to 5. I think every RKO was awesome. Poor Dominic, poor JD,
JD's probably still
and
laying
I
there.
think that
He'll be laying there when we start
probably
Raw.
still, yep. Because they're still in the same place, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
still gonna be in Chicago.
Yes, he's just
That's
laying
funny.
there. They just swept around him.
So yeah. Uh, this War Games though, I'm gonna give it 4.25.
Nice.
4.25.
All right. Ty.
4.5. It was better than the women's. Uh, it was on par with last year's. And I gave last year 4.5 as well. Um, yo, I really wanted Randy to RKO Rhea so bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yo, oh my god, that's the one guy. You're like equal fights, equal rights, yo. Just whatever, whatever. And it's like I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen at Survivor Series, but we did get a top RKO of all time. I'm not talking about the JD one. I'm talking about the Dom one
Yeah.
because everybody wanted that.
Yeah.
If you ever play Fallout 4, it says everybody like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody
That's
like
true.
that.
Yeah.
So, but it was fast paced. It was high action.
Yes.
I like the fact that they're planting the seeds of Damien getting kicked out of Judgment Day since he took the pin, and
Mm.
I can't wait for what they do with that. It's definitely going to be a slow burn build. I definitely think that Drew is going to be a part of Damien getting kicked out. And we'll see what they do with that. But this event was really good. I could say I give, yeah, like I said, the men's War Games match is important.
Okay. Um, I agree with everything. I thought it was a fun match. I'm gonna go 4-2-5 as well. Uh, again, I was happy to see Randy Orton back. He looked like he never missed a step, but he did look like he blew up a little bit. He he moved a little too much. You're like, woof. But he looked jacked, like for Booker
Yeah,
T.
yeah,
Like he looked like he ate his former self and he evolved into Monchop kind of thing. Um, it was great seeing him back, and then the first RKO to Dominic Mysterio, then the JD McDuggan probably still on the ring floor until tonight. So we'll to Monday night. So we'll see when that happens. And he's still there. He's just sleeping over the night. Watch the football game on the mat. That's all you need to do. And then just they put some drama with the Money in the Bank uh, cash in might have happened and stuff like that, and then Randy coming back and then kind of clearing house made it a kind of a one man show, and then also having everyone do the DDT. I was wondering if he would hit Jay with an RKO just for a receipt, and not that's it. Like, I'll hit you once. This is the receipt, and then now we good kind of thing. I thought that was gonna happen, but we didn't get that. I had a feeling it was gonna happen when they won too, but it didn't happen just yet. So I was like, all right, he's gonna save that receipt for later. Um, but it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. And then the aftermath, I think Triple H and production team did a great thing of kind of doing the WWE copyright, ending the show, and then Punk music hits, and he showcased CM Punk's return. And also shout out our Truth return as well. And it was a hilarious segment, and I popped more than I popped for PM CM Punk.
Yeah, true, true.
shout
I
out to
had the
our truth, man.
feels.
I
I
was
miss that man.
I was
He
craving
he's
fucking
loving.
ridges and fucking Slim Jims.
Our
he
truth is loving.
said, he said, I could taste the meat in the chips. I was like, what? Excuse me, sir?
It's listen. It's our truth. You can't question anything that he does.
She was like, what
He's
flavor is
that great.
that?
That's true.
Damn.
I love our
All
truth.
right.
Yeah, so we had three big returns last night, and it was interesting. It was a good show. I think everything fell apart, went apart. So I give 4.25. So overall Survivor Series, where you rated Louis Beans?
Me, I'm gonna give it a B. B plus,
B
actually.
plus. All right.
Actually.
Ty.
And A.
A.
This was WWE's pay per view of the year, straight up, in my opinion.
Damn, WWE has some good pay per views this year. I don't
And
think
they
it's my
had
Yeah,
great pay
favorite.
per views this year.
a lot.
Yeah,
They had a lot.
they had a lot of good
They had a
ones.
Maybe
lot.
I'm in the heat of the moment,
Yeah,
but it's an A right now for me.
like
D-
I
I,
go ahead.
before you say it and make your judgment on of the year, I'm gonna ask you how you felt about these pay-per-views. How did you feel about Royal Rumble? Because remember, that's still this year. That was a big
Uh,
one.
this year's Rumble,
Yeah, this year's
uh,
Rumble. This year's Rumble was Cody. Remember, this year's
yeah,
Rumble was Gunther, lasting all that time.
Yeah,
yeah, but
This,
uh,
how did you feel about the stories?
shit. The
uh,
Saudi show was really good.
Well,
the
I'm gonna
Night
ask
of Champions was good.
Night of Champions is good.
I'll give him that.
the champions. How you feel about Backlash? Because I think Backlash,
Oh, Backlash was
personally,
amazing.
I think that might have been, like, all bias aside, I think that might have been the pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah.
Backlash
Damn.
was amazing.
Yeah. So you go.
Mania Night One was amazing.
Yeah. Night two was
Mm,
solid too. Night one was great. Night two was solid. Uh, damn. We had a lot of pay per views this year that was actually really good. Money in the Bank was solid too.
Money in the
And the
Bank
bank
was
was
solid.
solid.
Yes, it was. This is
So
not even counting NXT.
yeah,
This is not counting that
Yeah,
NXT
this is
had
not
some
even kind
bangers
of
this year.
NXT.
yeah,
Yeah,
NXT.
NXT pay per views, and we still got one more. Deadline.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is
That
true.
could steal the show.
So Survivor Series, I'm gonna go. I'll go A minus. I actually really enjoyed the show. I thought there was no bad match. I think everything did everything well. I think the story they told to get to there as well was really strong. And again, our returning R Truth and Randall. CM Punk too, I guess.
But how did you
Yeah, that's
individually? How
Chicago,
did
bro.
Good.
individually? How did everybody feel about Punk coming back? Because again, I said I have no disrespect for him, but he's not my guy because I didn't grow up with him.
Yeah.
Like I was literally not watching wrestling while he was in WWE. The number of matches I've seen of his
Yeah.
is like a handful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that
And
was like
I've
the
never
later end.
seen,
Yeah.
but I've never seen his ROH though. So again, he's not a person I don't like.
Yeah.
I just don't have the affinity.
Yeah.
So I told you, Mert, whenever I hear the crowds chanting CM Punk, it's just noise to me. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. I can get that. I
I
can get
just
that.
I just say, oh look at that, that's nice. Those people are happy. But
So
usually when they scream that, they're not happy. So I don't know.
yeah.
That's kind of why I don't.
Um,
Doesn't mean
now they are.
Yeah.
that's that's
I kind of watched his whole WWE run. I was never big. I barely watched his ROH. Probably now, like more like we're just watching back stuff. I watched some more of his stuff, especially like when he did that whole shit with MJF. I kind of went back and watched some of his matches during that time. But never had a hate for CM Punk. I don't like when backstage bullshit takes over a show, and I think that was my
hmm
thing with him in AEW is the fact that I did like his matches, and I can't say that he didn't have good matches there because he had some really good matches there. Him versus Dak, him versus he had quite a few. Him versus MJF. So a lot of his singles matches, him versus Hobbs, he had a solid match with Hobbs as well. Like you think about it, like he has some really solid matches. It's just the backstage bullshit that kind of like dilutes it and takes away from it. But I like Punk as a wrestler. I think as he's a smart wrestler. I think he could do a good match. I think he could sell a lot of things. There's a lot of talent there that he'll make good money with. I did like his like Lucha the when he wore the mask against Rey Mysterio with his crew, the Strange Society. I liked it that time. I did like when he was with Paul Heyman too because I think some of his promos were some of his best. Um, but again, I think that's a time run that you should check out, and he has some good stuff. But again, it just I think the backstage antics and everything else kind of gets in the way of what he was in the ring, and sadly that's the truth. But it also I think it could get like I could let bygones be bygones. Like I would I care if he did show up? Not really. It would have phased me whatsoever if he did or did not. But as long as it works out and shit, I know WWE is gonna let that. It won't let that shit fly. That's the big difference of the two companies. That WWE that he starts his bullshit, they'll fire him in a heartbeat. That's the big
hmm
difference. But I'm interested to see where they go with it. I like that Seth Rollins was like flipping him off and wanting to fight already, and he also tweeted, "Fight me." So I'm
You know.
fine with that. Like I'm fine with like them actually putting the realism into the storylines as well, because I know Seth Rollins is a company guy, and I know he let bygones be bygones if it's gonna sell money, and it's gonna make money, and that's I think Seth Rollins is I think he's the strong point for that thing because also they have history. They tag team together. Punk was the one that kind of like gave him the word for them to give him that push when he was in NXT, when he was that first NXT champion, things like that. So there's a lot of history there. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm more excited that R Truth and Randall's back because I like those two guys more. But let's see where it goes. Monday night is next tomorrow, and we'll see what happens.
I grew up with Punk, and to see him return, uh, I mean, didn't Undertaker say never say never?
Yeah,
Uh, never say never, because when you let bygones be bygones, sometimes you're just like, you know what? In the past, I made mistakes. In the past, we all made mistakes. I'm trying to change that. And him From what sources it was saying, him and Triple H had a long and very productive talk. Um, and they really like set shit aside. So I feel like if them two could do it, Phil Brooks and Paul Levesque, anybody else could do it. You gotta see it how it is. And this is all for business. And Triple H, I know he's very happy that he brought him in. Um, yeah, there's gonna be people backstage that don't like him, but I feel like that's every wrestler.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people that backstage that don't like you, and it's just more amplified because it's Punk and he actually speaks his mind.
Yeah.
So
I think WWE backstage now is a whole different beast than when Punk was last there. So that's something that's a big difference as well. That company's not as political as
depressing.
it was before. The guys want to work with each other. Guys want to do the best show, things like that. Triple H is running in house, which it's a big different. It's a night and day kind of production right now as Triple H running it than when he wasn't. If you want to get really to the point, if it wasn't for Triple H, half of the people that's in the Hall of Fame would not be in the Hall of Fame because he's the one that burned those bridges. He's the one that got forgiveness and things like that to get them into the Hall of Fame. So for him to get let bygones be bygones, there's always room to do business with each other, and that is also something that Vince McMahon did. To be honest with you, that's why he brought Hogan back so many fucking times. The fact that there's always going to be room to do business with each other as long as you let bygones be bygones and shit gets settled and whatever. But I hope for the best. I really do. Again, he's not my favorite, but I do like his matches. And I think he could do something. I think we could have a great WrestleMania. I think we could have a great Royal Rumble with all these fucking names. And right now, WWE is at a point, and something. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but it's a great thing. You have a lot of guys that could be a world champion, and you saw like four of them in fucking war. You saw like eight of them in war games. And that's a
Hmm.
great thing. And
I
that's a
agree.
great thing to
I agree.
have. That's a great thing to have. Because before for a while we didn't have that. We have more than enough talent that could really upscale all those divisions. Look at Miz fucking stepping up with the IC title. Like you know that he's gonna step it up, but look at that IC division that they could have too with Jey Uso involved and things like that. I think it just makes every title picture looks better because you have the talent to really do something now. But other than that, that's our review. We go to the podcast we listen to real fast because I didn't listen to a lot, but I have a few just to spot out. Um, I did listen to. Where is it? Damn it! I just had it. It's just listening to Chris Van Vliet with Zach Gowen. It was actually a really funny conversation. He actually talked about wrestling Brock Lesnar and shit. It was hilarious. Um, there was no After the Bell this week. And which one other one I listened to? I did listen to. That was it. That was the only one I listened to this week. And shout outs to the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. I listen to those guys all the time, and they actually had a big conversation with the figures that they just announced recently. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and then last but not least, this is the wrestling retrospect, and my pick will be fuck it because you haven't got to. Did I pick him before? Let me make sure I didn't pick him, and then I'll pick him. But maybe this will be a time to pick him if we have not. And we did pick CM Punk, so we had CM Punk done before. All right, so I'm gonna go with. Hey Ty, I'll let you pick mine. Pick a wrestler.
Actually, hmm.
I have a list, so I'll say if we use them or not.
I gotta think about that. Shoot.
Off the bat, come on.
Who would be a guy? I gotta. Who would be a good guy to look back? Uh, can't do Grayson. Wouldn't make any
He
sense.
doesn't have much of a career.
Um,
I think
yeah,
he only
exactly.
wrestled for like about a year and a half.
Yeah. Can't do Braun. Did you do Tommaso? Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa?
Yeah.
No.
There you
We
go.
did
What
Johnny
else you got?
Gargano. We did no. Champa is available. So yeah, it'll be Champa. Tommaso Champa. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Ty, for joining us. You wanna put out your Twitter, TikTok, or anything that you wanna put out?
Yeah, follow the Wrestling Sims on TikTok and Instagram. I need to start posting more again. Um, Wrestling is at its peak, kind of, this year. And I'm looking forward to everything else that's happening for the rest of
Yep,
the
yep.
year. So,
All right. All right. Thank you for listening. This is the Wrestling Battle Podcast. You can follow us on everything on social media: on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch. All Mark with the mic. Also, you can follow my TikTok. I do a lot of random videos of figures and video games and wrestling as well. So definitely check that out. Give me a like and follow. Follow Red Cyclo Inc.
Yes, sir. Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. Red Cyclone Inc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud, Spotify, and we got a WordPress. So check it out.
Yep, yep. And always remember, follow the Jinkies.